This video is about the King James Bible. I've heard a lot of things about it. Some people seem to have bad things to say about it. A lot of people badmouth this version of the Bible. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't see why anybody would have anything bad to say about the King James version of the Bible. Personally, I think this is the best English translation of the Bible in existence. It's been battle tested for 400 years. It's tried and true. It has stood the test of time. The whole of modern Western society was built upon the foundation that the King James version of the Bible provided. So I don't see why anybody would have anything bad to say about the King James Bible. What we're going to talk about now is how various publishers are presenting this version and why I think this is most definitely the best version. To start, let's have a look at this video here by King James Video Ministries. I found this video to be very informative, especially because it discusses Satan's favorite tactic, which is addition. What Satan often does is he would saturate the truth with a whole bunch of false information. So it makes it more challenging for a Christian to pick out truthful facts. But they are there. As long as you do your own research, the information is all out there. You just need to put a little bit of effort. And I do recommend you watch this video. Okay, so let's have a look at Evangelical Bible. Great publishing company with respect to the quality of their Bibles, from what I've seen on the YouTube videos and the reviews for their particularly in-house Bibles, Scholar Bibles. I've made a video discussing the infiltration of Bible publishing companies by Satan, and if you'd like, have a watch. That's I talk about why I really want a Scholar Bible, but I'm very hesitant about getting one. Anyway, let's have a look here. Scholar Bibles. So the very first thing that comes up is the ESV, English Standard Version, NASB, North American or New American Standard Bible. Then you have another NASB, New King James Bible, New King James, NIV, and at the very bottom, at the very end here, near the end, I mean they've put the NLT at the bottom here, but and the CSB, but they've obscured the KJV. Like it's nothing. It's only like the oldest, most reliable translation in English. It's stood the test of time for 400 years, yielding good fruit, and they've put it down here. They've obscured it. I wonder why. Could it have something to do with the fact that their Schuyler Bibles use the Jerusalem cross and other non-Christian symbols? Like this over here. Let's see, Cambridge Bible versions. Again, English Standard Version appears above the King James Version. This makes absolutely no sense. It's not even in chronological order. I mean, this is the first. I mean, this Bible is older than any of these other translations right here. Proven, battle tested, tried and true for 400 years. Why would they have to obscure it? This should be at the very top of the list. An interesting thing I noticed here, Allen Bibles, they actually do something that I think is most definitely right. This is the right way to do it. First of all, they're calling it for what it is, the authorized version, because that's what it is. The King James version of the Bible is the authorized version of the Bible. We can see that this is how it was published by Oxford, authorized version. This is referring to the King James Bible, and this is Cambridge, authorized version, and in brackets King James. So to call the King James Bible the King James Bible, this is a new thing. Technically, the rightful name for the King James version of the Bible is the authorized version. That's what you call it, the authorized version. To make it distinguished from all other from the modern perversions. Just because you see a new King James version of the Bible doesn't mean that it's better in any way. It's a marketing ploy. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I have a New King James and I also have an English Standard Version. I do read those translations. I do reference those translations. However, I also have multiple King James Bibles, authorized versions, and that's my foundation. I can recognize that is the rock, the foundation, the sharpest sword ever made. It's okay to read modern translations as long as you're aware that they're lesser, they're diluted, they're lesser versions, they're lesser translations. There's a lot of false information and misinterpretation in those Bibles. They're like practice swords, whereas the King James, the authorized version, is the real deal. So Allen Bibles here, well done, respect. I would like to get a Bible from you guys, and I think I will be. I'm thinking about making a purchase. Yeah, just this alone tells me that and this seems to be the most trustworthy Bible publisher. They're calling it by the rightful name, the authorized version of the Bible, and it's at the top of the list, as it should be, not obscured near the bottom somewhere over here, like Skylar Evangelical Bibles is doing, and not second in the list or third or fourth like Cambridge is doing, but first. It's first on the list. It's the best English translation, the authorized King James version of the Bible. Let's have a look at some online resources. Now, Bible Gateway, I do reference this website quite often. However, for some reason, the NIV is always their default selected translation. It does not appear first on the list, but every single time it's the first default translation. I wonder why that is. I mean, are they getting paid to do that? Have they been paid to put this version first up here? It makes no sense. Why would you put a lesser translation at the very top, the first default selection? Makes no sense. Bible Hub. Have a look at this here. Now let's remember Satan's favorite tactic: addition, adding a whole bunch of false information and unnecessary uh, information to truthful facts. So have a look at this. Bible Hub, great website. I do reference this website quite often. I find it very helpful. But look at that. Look, where's the King James? Right here, in the middle of a whole bunch of other lesser translations. So how are you expected to pick this up? This is the best translation, guys, in English. Battle tested for 400 years, has yielded good fruit. The whole of Western society is was built upon this translation as the foundation, and they've put it here, obscured it, And let's have a look at this. If you do a search for any Bible verse, let's have a look at Matthew 17:21, one of my favorite Bible verses. What does the King James Bible say? Howbeit, this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. What is this verse in reference to? This verse is in reference to when Jesus' disciples came to him and they told him that they've been trying to cast out an unclean spirit, a demon, a devil. However, they've been unsuccessful at doing that. And Jesus tells them that you, on top of having faith, faith is your foundation. You most definitely need to have faith that you can do it, that you can cast out unclean spirits. You also need to pray and you need to fast. Fasting is very, very, very important. Prayer and fasting, very important. In fact, these two are integral, they go hand in hand. Prayer and fasting. If we have a look at this here, uh, this is the next verse, 17:22, Matthew 17:22 and Matthew 17:21. Notice how Matthew 17:21 has a lot less translations. And notice how Matthew 17:22 has a whole bunch of translations here. Why is that? Why is that? Because this verse, 17:22, appears in practically every modern translation, including the English Standard Version. 17:22 is in the English Standard Version, and obviously in the King James, and pretty much every modern translation. But 17:21 only appears here in a handful of translations, and you can see that the English Standard Version is not even mentioned here. Why is that? Because the English Standard Version obscures this verse in the footnotes. So it takes it out of the text and puts it in the very fine, small print, making it very not difficult, but it's challenging to find it. It's obscured. You need to like dig into the text and find it, whereas the King James puts it right into the text. And I think this is very important. If you're going to be casting out unclean spirits, devils, and demons, you most definitely need to have faith. And on top of your faith, in addition to your faith, you need to pray and you need to fast. Fasting, very important, guys. Very important. So here it is, online resources, the King James Bible online, kingjamesbibleonline.org. This is a legit website. I definitely encourage you to use this website as your resource. This website also has the 1611 KJV, and I guess maybe I should talk about that a little bit. The current King James version of the Bible is technically the 1769 publication. A lot of these modern pushers, modern version pushers, would claim that the King James version was translated and retranslated. That is not true. That is false. The King James 1611, the translation is exactly the same as the modern translation of the King James, which is a 1769. The thing that changed between 1716, between 17, sorry, between 1611 and 1769 was an update to spelling and the usage of certain letters. It was updated, and there was punctuation that was updated as well. The translation remains exactly the same. The KJV from 1611 and the one that you'd get from your store today, which is from the 17 from 1769, is the exact same translation with updated two or three updated letters and updated punctuation. As in, for example, in 1611, they would often use a letter that looks like F as an S, and they would use an U as a V and an I as a J, and it would be interchangeable. What the 1769 update did is it standardized the language, but the translation is exactly the same. That's why this I recommend this website most definitely. And here we have a testament to the King James Bible and the Geneva Bible as well. I guess here what I would say here is if you are looking for, maybe you're not a big fan of the King James Bible translation, I would encourage you, if that's the case, go get yourself a Geneva Bible. This one is also it's a true translation. The pioneers, as far as I'm aware, when they were the Europeans that were going to the Americas, this is the Bible that they brought with them, the Geneva Bible. But yeah, here this website, I recently purchased a Bible leaf from a pre 1650 King James Bible from them, just because I respect the history. I think the King James Bible is very important. It's played a significant role. And here you can actually buy some antique Bibles. I mean, this is awesome. You can most definitely look at that. This one's going for 100 grand or so. Incredible, incredible. This is history right there. 400 years of history. You can most definitely not say that about any modern version. New King James or English Standard Version or NIV, whatever. I mean, they're not there. Modern versions are not there. They're good stepping stones to the real deal, and the real deal is the King James version of the Bible. Anyway, thank you for watching, and remember, do your own research always. Have a nice day.